Welcome to Go Live. How are you doing, everyone? Thanks so much for joining us today. And it's Tuesday. You know, when it's Tuesday, it's
Go Live Tuesday.
Go Live Tuesday. Great to see everybody in there. Let us know in the chat if you don't mind. Go into the chat right now and let us know which branch or what part of Southern California are you watching from, or maybe around the world. I think last week or the week before, I think there was somebody that was watching us from overseas, which was pretty darn cool.
Very exciting.
We're going international now,
Yeah.
right? Very cool. All right. So in the chat, maybe the chat's not open yet. So when the chat is, oh, they are. Okay, good. Awesome. Brentwood office. Good to see all of you. Had so much fun. You know, we were on a tour.
What?
For a couple of weeks.
Is that the Momentum Tour?
That was the Momentum Tour, yes. And it was so great to see all of you. It was fun coming out to the offices. I have to say, I don't do that enough, where I get out and travel through all of the offices in a short period of time. And that was really a lot of fun. And that Momentum Tour was all about sharing the cool and exciting new tech stack that we have coming out later this year. So if you haven't heard about it yet, I recommend you talk to somebody in your office that was at that meeting, because it was not only well received, but it got everyone really, really excited. And it's an entire ecosystem from end to end, and we're pumped about it. So
I'm very excited. And I heard a lot of great feedback, and hopefully you're caught up on sleep after the 2 weeks on the road. But I saw a lot of great photos, a lot of great videos. I joined in Carlsbad, La Jolla, so. It
was 20 presentations in 10 days. So yeah, we were rocking it. And so tons and tons of fun. So, do we have the impact slide? All right, very good. We'll go ahead. Let's talk about the impact.
Cool.
Council.
Yeah. So if you remember a few weeks back, it's recorded on Go Live YouTube channel as well as Percipio. But we had part one of our Keys to Home Ownership virtual series, where we had Leanne from Cal HFA come on and talk about some programs that first-time home buyers might not be aware of if they're renters and they just don't think that they can get into the market right now. There's a lot of great programs that you can work with Cal HFA as well as Prosperity Home Mortgage. Anyway, that was an agent-facing webinar to kind of get you educated about all those different programs. We're doing part two on Tuesday, June 9th. It's going to be from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. And this will be an opportunity for you to invite your first-time buyer clients to join us. So that QR code will link you to the Zoom registration page. Go ahead and sign yourself up, share it with your clients. Right now, we do have a social media image in Design Studio so that you can publish that on social and get signups for there as well. And there will be an email going out from Impact very soon that will have other marketing materials as well as the link and instructions. So you can encourage your potential buyers to join and learn about all the different opportunities there are to get into homeownership.
And for those of you that are watching on your phone, I believe Christine is going to put that link, or has already put that link into the chat, so you can just click on that link, because it's kind of hard to shoot a QR code if you're watching on your phone.
Fun fact, the social media image does have a QR code on it, and I always would make fun of people that put QR codes on their social images, but now if you screenshot it and go to your images, you can actually interact with links and QR codes. So that's a new, I don't know how new feature, but if you screenshot a QR code on your phone, you can go into your photos.
I did not know that.
Navigate, yes, so fun fact.
Cool stuff.
Yeah, tech.
My head is imagining, you know, the brains at Meta or whoever thought of this was like, well, they can't actually scan a QR code.
And it works on Instagram captions too. If you, like when people comment, I mean, if you put a URL in there, you can also screenshot that and do it. So it's been very useful for me. So you're not typing in the really long URL that's posted in a caption. Cool. So yeah, so fun fact for everyone watching.
Great job. And thank you for all your hard work on that. You and the entire Impact Council are really doing some important work there. Homeownership in Southern California has just increasingly become harder and harder for entry-level buyers, first-time home buyers. And I know that you, along with the entire council, are working really, really hard to bring education and to bring resources out to people to make that dream a reality. So thank you for all your work on that. I really do appreciate it. All right. Jumping into an agent service announcement before we get into our headliner today, which I know you're going to love. But the agent service announcement that I have for you today is actually around AI, but not in the way that this wonderful lady is always teaching all of you, but in the arena of being careful. Right. So there's a lot of content out there, and there's a lot of people that we highly respect out there that is producing content and solutions and doing great things with AI right now, to the extent that many AI platforms enable the everyday person to create applications really quickly. And I don't know about you, but if you ask my wife, she will absolutely agree with you. I am up all night long playing with my Claude and thinking through things. In fact, the staff here will, it's funny because they'll look at me like, okay, Sam, get some sleep. Because I'll walk in and say, did you know we can do this and we can do that and you can create these different apps? Well, here's the challenge with that, right? Creating an app, at least the front end of it, and for it to be able to pull your emails and do all kinds of wonderful things is fantastic. The problem with that is that the AI isn't necessarily concerned with building security features inside of that platform. The security features are the nuances behind the interface that keep other bad guys from coming in to try to capture that data. In fact, one of the biggest parts of major tech businesses, name any of the major tech businesses that are out there that are creating applications for the general consumer use, one of their biggest departments is security, right? And defense of bad guys trying to hack in and steal data. Now, you may think, well, I'm just a small person in terms of the big tech world in my own little world here in Southern California. Who's really going to come and look for me? Well, the challenge is that the moment you start publishing some of those applications and they're on servers that sit somewhere, and unless you're highly focused on the security efforts there, you actually have some vulnerability, right? And these AIs, unless you have prompted and unless you know how to maneuver through some of those securities, and then you're updating those applications as new threats coming in, you actually have a vulnerability into your larger system, especially if you're creating these tools and resources to make your life easier, where they're integrating and they're pulling from other applications and things like that, namely your email address. The concern that we're beginning to see are vulnerabilities where people can come into your email through your AI systems and begin monitoring activity in your email account. So this traditional way of getting in, where there was through phishing, or you click on something and it downloads, and we've gotten better at recognizing those things. But with this, the explosion of AI and the ease of creating applications, I have to say, and we're beginning to see it already, there's lots of vulnerabilities in there, okay? And so, sometimes we get agents, Tina, that ask us, hey, can you allow this AI app that I built that's going to help me do X, Y, and Z? I just need to have it get access to my email, or I needed to get access to my OneDrive or whatever, right? We've learned the lesson very, very quickly that we can't connect those applications, right? And we can't do that because you are handling clients' data, you're handling clients' information. It's actually called NPPI, non-public personal information, which includes big things like social security numbers sometimes, and phone numbers and email addresses, and all of these things that are really not meant to be public. Having those vulnerabilities puts you at risk. All right. And so spread the word. All these apps are wonderful, but connecting them into the various things that you're doing can be concerning. Okay.
Yeah. One of the things when Sharon and I are teaching our AI classes is we're always trying to make sure that you're being very careful with how you put your data in there. You're not putting in personal information. So we'll never encourage you to do anything like that. But that's a good point because, I mean, I see videos on social media. My team member and I were talking about all these different ways that AI can do all these things for you, but they need access to your emails. They need access to your files and
Your
that puts our
drives
clients
and
at
everything.
risk. So you got to think twice before you download that fancy new AI tool.
Yeah, because when you click on integrate and they're saying, well, just put in your credentials and then we'll integrate it, right? That's the first step that you should be really, really concerned about that, okay? So, all right, enough of that. Let's get into some really fun stuff. So I'm excited today to introduce you to Meredith Schlosser because she is outstanding. I got to know Meredith now. I believe Meredith, let's bring her up. I got to know her about 4 years ago now, maybe 5 years ago. And yeah, she is. Hi, Meredith.
Hi, how are you? You said my name right. Thank you. My last
Did I really? I literally was practicing it last night and today. So good. I'm glad that I got that done.
Bravo.
In 2025, you were number 24 in all of home services, Berkshire Hathaway Home Services for small teams. That's quite a feat in a very short period of time. And you're currently in 2026 here in Southern California, number 2 in volume and number 3 in transactions, just absolutely crushing it. Originally from New York, came out here with a couple of years under your belt, but not necessarily in sales, more in leasing, and have just taken on the West Side by storm. So Meredith, welcome to Go Live. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're gonna jump right in. You know, one of the reasons that we asked you to come on today was because, there's a lot of things that really stand out for you. And I can see us having you come on multiple times throughout the year this year. But one of the things we really wanted to talk about today was you really seem to have upgraded and upped your game in terms of social media presence. But even more specifically than that, and is where we want to start, is what you've taken client testimonials to kind of to another level, because most people are working hard to try to get them on Zillow, on Realtor.com, on agent, what is it called? Agent testimonial tree.
So many.
Yeah, Google business pages. And so it's like, where do you go? But something tells me you thought, well, people need to feel it, not just read the words. Right. And so let's talk about that. So I'll turn it over to Tina.
Yeah, well, I was excited when Christina Miller, who's always behind the scenes, wanted to reach out and get you on here because I and Christina have both been big fans of your social media, so much so that today when I looked on there, I was like, oh, she changed her headshot, so love the new headshot.
Thank you.
The fact that you do that frequently puts you in the top 1% of 1%. I love it.
Actually, not that frequent. I've realized that the last ones were like 3 or 4 years ago, so it's like this needed to happen. So.
Well, it's funny because we were looking to, get your photo on, and I looked to make sure it was still the right one. And then today I was like, oh, it's a new photo. We shouldn't use that one, but it's okay. We'll get it next time. But I love your social media. I teach social media for Success Path, and I'm constantly referring agents to your account because so many agents think, just listing after listing after listing. And social media is so much more than just sharing listings. They really need to get to know you as a person. And even though I maybe see you once or twice a year, I feel like I really keep up with you and what you're doing and all the activities that you do with your kids and your team and your dog, who I just learned her name is Blake. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of go through some of the videos on your account because I want everyone, if you're not following Meredith, obviously give her a follow now. But I want to give everyone a feel for, the type of content that you are posting. So here's her Instagram account. Love that you have, your top pinned post here. I think that's a great best practice to have. Love that you pinned this one. I'll show it as a sample because when it came across my feed, I was like, this is a great video. Love that your family is always so involved in your posts, and your team is all over everything. And you really have just like a mix of professional content, behind the scenes content, friends and family content. Again, you've got your pug on there. And I think what really shines through is that you love your community. You live, you work, you play in your community, and that shines through. And I think that's something that every agent should be striving for, whether they're on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, whatever platform it is. But I'll go ahead and share just a few different videos before we kind of start talking about the testimonials, because we're curious about how you get that content. So let's see, I'm gonna have to refresh this.
You don't need to do this. We already sold it. Let's get it started in here. Let's get it started.
Ooh. And I'm frozen, of course.
Live
What else?
Live television. Gotta love live television. That's
Anyway, so at the beginning of that, I love it because Jeremy goes into saying like, oh, like this is a great new listing. And you're like, wait, we already sold it. And it's kind of a fun way to showcase that it sold before it even could hit the market. I'm going to have to get back into this to share the screen.
That is the best line. The beginning is definitely the best part for sure.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about how because these are obviously very professionally produced. So tell us a little bit about the team you have behind them, like how often you're shooting these, and just kind of the process with that.
Yeah, so I'm gonna keep it real today because there's no other way to be. As a New Yorker, we all have to be a little authentic. I actually hate doing video, like more than you can even imagine. Even though I had a reality show back in the day, I hate it. So everybody in my role is like, you're funny, you're fun to be around, just do more video. I'm like, it's so annoying. It's like so much pressure and intensity. But I've realized that when I start doing it, it's easier and easier and it becomes more natural, right? So it's like you go there, you get dressed up, you know you're going to be there. It's like, how can I get in and out as quick as possible? So that's the goal. I try to think about what I want to say beforehand, but I also try to be authentic and organic. And I was joking with my assistant, she'll bring lines to me. I'm like, oh no, this just doesn't sound like me. It's like too cheesy. Like, so I joke with the videographer and he's like, here, say this, and this. I'm like, no. Like, just doesn't feel like me. And I think that, and I wrote back to you, Sam, on those questions.
Yeah.
If you're going to do video and you're going to do social media, I just have a lot of clients that are influencers and stuff. Like, do something that feels natural to you so it doesn't feel so rehearsed, right? So when I did that, wait, I just kind of came up with it. It was like, it was funny. It was like, oh, wait, we sold it, but we didn't have to do the video. So I think just putting yourself out there and getting in front of the camera, if you have a property, right? Like the clients, I've realized I never did these videos up until like maybe a year ago ever. It was just the video. If you look at my social media, you guys, like, it was like just the video and the drone. And then like a couple different clients were like, hey, I saw this video, and they'd be like messaging me. I'm like, oh, damn it. Now I have to like go do the video, and then I started doing them and I'm like, wait, this is kind of fun and it looks cool and the music is good. It's a good vibe. And so here we are, we're doing more of them.
And I love that you brought that up of when they suggest something to you and you're like, that doesn't seem like me. Because I talk to so many agents where they're like, oh, like, I don't want to try out the things that my videographer tells me. And I'm always like, that's okay. Say, I like the concept, but it doesn't feel like me. So like, let's find somewhere in the middle. So I love, did you have to go through different videographers before you got to that point? Or were they just willing to work with you right up front? Like, did you find that sweet spot?
I have a great guy. He's incredible. He's young. He's crushing the game. His name is Clutch. He's 21 years old. He's just so smart, and he's from New York. We hit it off real quick. And he's just funny because he's always like, he's like, no, you don't say welcome to the house or like the 3-bed, 2-bath. It's like people know that, right? People know that it's a 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,200 square feet. Like no one cares.
Right.
What makes that property unique? What makes it better than the other 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,200? Like so me and him kind of got in that vibe, and we were going through what we should say and what attracts it, and just making it short and sweet because the video is there, right? Like the house is going to be there. No one cares how many square feet it is. They're going to read the description and figure it out pretty quickly. So, yeah, I think,
I would say, because I know you as well, you,
yeah,
while you are very authentic and you're a quick thinker, I think, like things come to you organically, but you also prepare.
yeah,
Right. And so I think, because I don't want this to be lost on somebody, because I think there's too many people out there that feel like they can just show up without having prepared and then it just be great, right? So I think that
Yeah.
the only reason you're able to be organic, if you will, or think as fast as you do is
Yeah.
because of the preparation that you do leading up to that,
Yes.
right? The questions that you spoke about, answering some of those questions and some of the other projects that you and I are working on, you are deliberately spending time thinking through those, albeit not necessarily in a script. You come with your mind already envisioning something.
Yes.
And in a map, the end result might be a different, but you're prepared. And that's, I think, really, really important.
Yeah. So I think you're doing a great job with those listing videos. And good news, computer is back up and running again. So we're going to go through some of the more samples. If you ever are on Success Path with me, you know this is a regular occurrence. So another thing that I love about your social media is you're not afraid to show your family, your friends, your community. You're always involving your kids in your posts. And I think that this moment that you shared on Instagram at the end of last year, it was just so great to see your kids in the video with you. So I'm going to go ahead and refresh. I'm sorry that the sound doesn't autoplay, but we'll get this up here. We'll refresh this.
While she's doing that,
dollar team at this point. I never thought at 41 years old I'd be up here saying we're running $1 billion team, but it's incredible. So thank you to everybody for once again trusting us. We are
amazing. Can I say that she is the very first guest that is rocking Go Live Red?
There we go in the video.
Our Go Live Red.
Yeah.
Yes.
Always red, baby. Always red.
I love it. I love it.
That's the color.
Yeah. So how did you start getting your kids involved? Do they like it? Are they like, Mom, come on? Like how do you get them involved?
Yeah, my other half isn't crazy about them being on. So and I don't really like them being on a lot of the social media videos. So there's like definitely some weirdos, as we know, that are on social media, and I block those individuals very quickly. So I'm very, even though I'm like a public page or whatever, I definitely block. There's a lot of, as we know, creeps out there, but I just love having them at events. Like they come to the holiday party, they're the only kids allowed. Everyone's like, can I bring my kids? I'm like, sorry, no, they're the only ones allowed. And they're supportive. They love it. I mean, they've known this their whole lives. I'm 41, my son's 10, right? So this has been his whole world. I mean, he doesn't know, they don't know anything different. So we do community events. They come, and my kids are number one, as we know, but I have to work weekends, I work nights, so whatever I have to do, I do. So we just try to involve them and have fun with it. And yeah, they're drinking Cokes at 9 o'clock at night. They're coming back and eating leftover pizza with me after the party. Like we just try to embrace and make that part of their world as the real estate agents we are. It's not always glamorous. It's not always amazing, but they're just,
it's the life we chose.
The life we chose. Yeah.
That's right.
Family business at this point, but they're always so involved both with your work, and I see them in the workout videos. I know you were like racing your son. I think you're still faster than him. Is that still true?
I mean, as of
now,
weeks ago, we'll see what happens.
Just have to do that once a month for a little while.
Yeah.
Having lost a race to my children, I will say to you that comes to an end. It really does.
I know. It will. Sure.
Another star on your pages is Blake, which I love. Blake is in a lot of your professional photos. Like you have a photo shoot here, which I see sprinkled throughout your page. I also see that she is very involved in your Pilates classes, which I love as well. And then I have a photo that your team sent me. I need to pull it up. But kind of talk about that, because I know you're including Blake in your team photos now. So like, I love that you have her involved as well.
I mean, she's my baby, you're like, you called her here. She's a she can be whatever she wants to be. No judgment. Whatever Blake wants to be, she is. Yeah, no, she's
I
love having her around, and she's always we rescued her about a year and a half ago. And my office is in Playa Vista down the street from my house. And my housekeeper's like, you should start bringing her to the office. Like she sleeps and eats all day. You know, I'm like, yeah, you're right. That's so mean, you know? So
it's kind of like adult children. Just start bringing them to the office so they're not sleeping and eating all day.
She's here, she's sleeping, she's snoring. The other day we were on a Zoom and my client's like, she's like, what is that noise? Like, is there, and I was like, oh, it's my dog. And I like picked her up. They were interviewing me because they live out of state. And I picked her up like, oh, you're hired. Like, we're done.
The secret weapon, amazing. Right? Yeah.
Well, I have this photo just hot off the press from your team of the bench ad that you did featuring Blake, which I think is cute. That's because amazing. Again, you're so active in your community. So I can guarantee that everyone that lives in your neighborhood sees you walking Blake, sees you with the kids. So I think it's great brand recognition, especially in such a tight-knit community such as Playa Vista.
You know, I love how not only confident, but how fearless you really are. Because I have to tell you, there's not a lot of agents out there that would have the guts to put the picture of their dog where their picture would normally be. Right? I mean, you're a gorgeous woman. And so probably every other marketing person would probably tell you, no, we need to put you there. And you chose to put Blake. And, you know, and hopefully that's working out for you. But for me, that just tells me that you're just fearless and you're almost like an A/B tester, right? You're going to try this. And if it works, we'll continue doing it. If it doesn't, we'll pivot.
Mm-hmm. And
Blake has longer eyelashes than me, so I had to put her up there. It's all natural. So I just went for the natural vibe, you know?
I love that. No, but I really think like the theme through all of these posts that I'm sharing is just like you said, you know, you're letting your personality shine through. And that's really what I think a lot of agents struggle with on social media is they think they need to be perfect and polished. And you're here to say, nope, I'm going to be me. Just like you said, when you started this, I'm going to tell you it like it is. I don't like video, but I'm going to do it anyway. So I love that that comes through. So let's go ahead and talk then about some of the reviews that you get from your clients, because I see you post a lot of reviews from them, and I'm going to share this one here that's more of a print or a written review, but I know you do videos as well. So tell us a little bit about like why did you start collecting reviews for social media?
I mean, why? It's just, you know, reviews. I mean, anybody looks at reviews, right? What do we all do when we look up anything, whether it's a restaurant, it's a hotel, it's a hairstylist, it's you know, anything. We all live by reviews, right? So when I started in Los Angeles, when I got licensed in February 2012, I was on a top performing team. And when Zillow came out, you know, that was how I got my first listing was Zillow Make Me Move. I don't know if you guys all remember, like, I'm happy to talk about that.
Yep.
That was back in the day. And the review came on, right? So whenever this was 2012, so that was Zillow and everybody started using it. And, you know, I was searching top performers and looking what people were doing and going on their websites. I'm like, oh, wait, this is amazing. You know, I had no network out here, right? So everything had to be perfection. I'm like totally OCD type A. I was like, every deal, if the person's happy with me and I do a good job, I ask for one thing at the end of a transaction, just one thing, and it's a review. And I tell clients that at the end of a deal, and I can go through how I do it. Hey, I don't ask for anything this whole time. I didn't bug you once. The only thing I ask for, can you please put that on there? That shapes my business, right? Because 90% of my business, if you look at all my transactions last year, is repeat referral, repeat referral. Yeah. But I know that comes from people looking at my reviews, my website, et cetera. So
sure. And let's talk about that. How early do you have that conversation, set up that expectation that, hey, this is what I'm going to do for you. And if I deliver on that promise, here's what I'm looking for in return. How early do you set that up?
I don't talk about anything about me until that deal is closed. Like I don't even, you know, I should act like this I should be like this more with my children, right? Like asking them to do things after like they've done exactly what I need them to do. But no, I don't ask for anything. I do my job. I do the best I can. I check off every single box. Well, the deal's flowing, things are good, they're happy. And at the end, we go out, we celebrate, we do the dinner, we do the lunches, we do the, the gift giving, the whole swag bag thing. And then, hey, by the way, do you mind just writing me a quick review? And then the
Sure.
certain clients that I know are like business owners or, whatever they are, they get how important it is to me. Then I will ask them for a video. And the people are thrilled to do that as well.
So then obviously we love, the written reviews, but as we talked about at the beginning, video is so powerful, so important. Nobody likes to be on video, but somehow you've convinced some of your clients. I'm going to share a sample that I just watched today of a video one, and then we'll kind of talk about like how do you get them to go on camera? Because like you said, no one really likes to do that. Here, let me refresh and unmute.
This is a great one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Went with Meredith because of her reputation, a very strong community presence. And I'm really glad I did because not only were they professional, personable, but they were very aggressive with the negotiations, which is what we needed. My experience working with Jenny and the team was simply easy. We had no questions going through the entire process, which we felt was not as common as it has been with other people in our circle. So we were very, very fortunate to go with such a knowledgeable and seasoned team. So I originally went with Meredith because of her reputation. Very strong.
So love that you have other ones where they have their dogs in their laps as well. This one, they're in very beautiful spaces. Are they filmed at their new homes? Are they filmed in your office? Where do you film these typically?
Yeah, that one with Ashley, that's my office in Playa Vista. And if anybody ever is in the area, I'd love to have you over. And then the other one that you just mentioned, Christina, that was at their home.
Their home. Okay, cool. So how hard is it to convince them like, hey, do you want to get on camera and say your review instead? Or are they usually open to it?
I pay them off, I bribe them, I buy them bags, shoes. No, it's just, these are clients that we have great relations. Like that client that you just saw, the guy, Paul, I mean, we've known them for years, done a number of transactions with them. Jeannie Buss, the owner of she sold the Lakers, but
Yes.
she did one for me, and that really set the tone. I've done probably 18 to 20 transactions with her over my career, and that really set the tone. And now I'm like, oh, Jeannie did one. They're like, oh, she did. Okay.
There you go.
It's like
Peer pressure.
Jeannie busted one. All right, I'm good. Let's go. So that was an incredible asset for me.
Now, do you hire a videographer to go and show up and take care of that for them, or do they just put it on their phone and then send it to you?
Yeah, so I mean, it depends. I mean, mostly it's Amanda from my team brings a tripod on her phone.
Got it.
I know Jeannie is professional, so she I think just did it herself. I've had a couple clients just do it themselves and whatever, they're in the world and they have their own tripod. But I mean, it's funny because I was thinking about this meeting today, and if you scroll all the way down the website, you'll see like a couple like janky, like the hand like shaking or whatever. This is probably like 10 years ago or something. And now it's all sturdy and more professional and polished. So
hey, everyone starts somewhere. Yeah.
Exactly.
So do you, say like, do you let them pick their own topics? Do you kind of coach them? Do you ask them questions so that in the hopes of specific answers, or just let them talk?
I used to just ask a few questions, and then I was like, wait, this is kind of lame, so now it's like we all have attention spans of nothing, right, anymore.
Right.
So I'm just like, hey, if you can just talk about the experience in under a minute, they're like, a minute, and then they get like overwhelmed, like, it's fine, we'll just cut it, and then some of these clients, they speak for a living, they run their own business.
Oh, yeah.
They're doing this is like not a big deal for them, right? So they're like, sure, I got it, and like I have a very high profile attorney, he's like, this is like, I got this, and he nailed it the first thing. And then a couple of other clients like, oh, I said that twice, can you cut it? I'm like, yeah, it's not a big deal.
No, you make a good point. If you give them a time limit, they're like, I can't fit everything into a minute. But if you say, it doesn't need to be super long, just talk about the experience. The power of editing is incredible. Just like you did with that sample, you can just cut out the good chunks of the interview. So love that.
How do you use some of this content, if at all, in like your listing presentation, for example?
Yeah, the videos, I don't put any of that in there. I mean, I think most people, when they interview me, they'll go to the website or they'll look at social media. We just have it on, we put it on social media, and then it's on the website. So, I mean, if people really want to know. I think of the question, do most people watch TV or do they read books? What do they prefer? Most people prefer, I might be the anomaly. I don't watch any TV. I don't like TV, but I love reading because it helps me, but most people like TV.
Yes.
They like to watch things.
I
So
love TV.
yeah, okay. And that's great. There's nothing against it. I just don't, for me, I don't have a lot of time, but I think most people prefer to watch a video rather than reading the same thing. She's great. It's boring. It's just boring.
I'm a reader like you, but that's why I'm a big advocate for captions on videos so that you can read and watch if you don't want the sound on, you can at least see what's being said. Are the videos hosted on your website or just the written testimonials?
The videos are on the website.
Videos?
And if you go, so that's what I was joking about Jeannie, because if you go to my website, she's right there. So she's number one.
Look, see?
Yeah, well, you leverage the assets that you have, right? And our clients are one of those biggest assets that we have out there. And so, that's very interesting. And so, is there much of a budget that you prepare for or think through or anything like that with regards to video testimonials?
It's free. It's my phone, right? It's just testimony. I mean, and I pay someone to manage my social, so she just edits them and does whatever she does, which that's not me. So however she makes it look good, whether it's, cutting it or putting it on, but it's just my phone and a tripod. That's all it is.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. What do you ask every client to do a video testimonial?
No.
Okay, so you curate who you ask, right?
Yeah, so it just depends. And what do they do for work? Are they open to it? Do they want to be do they want to be on the website? I mean, I have a lot of clients that are very private. They would never want to do that, right?
Sure.
So I think at this point I have a lot. So I don't know. I was talking to my sister, I'm like, oh, we should get more, but it's like, how many more do I need? And I think it makes a bigger impact. I was thinking about it in preparation, planning for this is getting people on there where it was a really challenging situation. Like that video, Christina, that you looked at from Oak Pass and Beverly Hills, like we transformed that whole property, Jeremy and I, and sold it off market. Like that's but they live out of the country, right? It was like, that'd be maybe more of like a story in addition to like why we're the best and blah, blah, blah. It's like she did A, B, C, and D for me. And I was living in Israel, like literally that client from Oak Pass, right? So maybe doing more of that where there's more of a story, more of an angle.
So it sounds like you're pretty consistent getting a testimonial from all clients. And then from there you decide, okay, is this something that we want to try and get a video? Is there a story behind this? Because like storytelling is one of the big trends on social media as of late is, people want to be intrigued. They want a story, some drama.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. No, I think it makes it a little more exciting, right?
Speaking of people's stories, let's dig, if you don't mind, we'll put a pin in social media for just a second. And I want to talk to you about being a New Yorker, right? And so what do you think? Because it's not uncommon to hear a New Yorker come to California, right? Especially in our real estate space. And so what do you think that is for New York real estate people, what is the allure or the attraction to come west, specifically into Los Angeles, and sell real estate there?
You have to repeat. You have to say New Yorker.
New Yorker, New York.
New Yorker. Well, I met my other half in New York, so I kind of got dragged out here. It was not a plan. So she lived out here. She owns a clothing company. So we were doing long distance for a while, and it was like, hey, we're going to do this or not. I'm like, California. I had never been to LA.
Oh, wow. I
moved out here. I was 27. I just turned 41, or not. I'm about to be 42. So it was a little while ago, but when I came out here to visit, long story short, I'm going to talk as quickly as possible so I don't lose the attention. I was like, wait a second. I remember I was taking subways, dirty buses, trekking in boots to heels to, long underwear. I mean, New York's not an easy place to live. The city is tough. It's tough.
Yes.
You got to fight your way to get on the train. You got to fight your way to get on the bus. It's intense. This to me was like, whoa, I can be in a car. Like I can have my own space. I can listen to my own music. I don't have to worry about the home. Like it's just different. Right. So to me, this was an easier lifestyle, but I started from nothing out here. I mean, I knew 2 people when I moved out here. So it was quite the challenge. But I think the allure is the weather, is the lifestyle, is the, you know, all of it, right? I mean, having more space, uh, more affordability, even though it's very expensive, but still more affordable,
Sure.
more space, more personal space than New
Because we're
York.
definitely seeing some notable people who have started and even had great success in New York,
Yeah.
really make Southern California kind of the next mountain to climb for them, right? And so, why do you think for a lot of successful New Yorkers, California is this new kind of frontier for them? Why do you think that is?
I just think it's a better, way better quality of life out here. You
Mm.
know, I mean, New York's hard. It's a tough, it's not even just the weather, it's the pace. I always think about, I'm like, I was so much more angry there. Like, I can't fight with people. Like, think about it, it's pouring rain and I'm running to a meeting and I'm trying to get in the cab and this guy walks in front of me. I'm like, I'm like so angry. I was so aggressive, It's like,
Wow.
he just like literally like cut me off to get in the cab and it's like torrential downpour and then I lose my cab. It's like,
Just stealing your cab.
yeah, it's just more intense. It's an amazing energy. I think everyone should live there. I want my kids to live there. I think it's such an incredible place to live, but it's so much more intense. Everything's harder. Doing
Yeah.
your laundry, getting groceries. It's a lot.
There's so many agents in this business who have spent years and years and years in this business and never quite achieve the level of success that you've been able to do in such a short period of time. If you could put your finger on one or two things for those people that are listening now that are either just starting their careers or they're trying to push their career to the next level, what advice would you give them? If you were coaching them, what would you say to them?
First of all, thank you. That's very kind. And you're gonna laugh. I had found my 2 first business cards ever, and I think I might frame them because it brought a lot of emotions to me of when I first got my license, and because I just remember, right? And I've always remained humble, and no matter how much success maybe I have, like I will never forget door knocking in LA, and I wrote you this email, 7 hours a day, no joke, to get started, and people just slamming the door in my face. I go back in my car and start crying. I get back up again, like no joke, like this is real truth. I think the
What
number
area was
one,
that in Los Angeles?
Beverlywood. So
Mm.
I got my first listing from Zillow Make Me Move.
Yep.
um I was, I don't know, 28 at this point. It was my friend, just got licensed February
Yep.
2012. And I door knocked, I'm not kidding you, 7 to 9 hours a day. And I was wearing heels. Like, what was wrong with me? And I'm like, God,
rocking it.
and then I
Yeah.
like go back and then I changed into my flats and like just rejection after rejection after rejection. And I was like, there's no other way. Like, I can't, I needed the money. I needed the business. Like, I know no one's supporting me. Like, I got to figure this out. And no one was giving me leads. I was on a very big team. My only opportunity was open houses and door knocking.
Yeah.
I didn't get any leads. So I think the biggest thing when you're getting started in this business is stay, and I wrote you this to you, Sam, like really just staying authentic. And I know that sounds cheesy, but not being like anybody else, right? Like figuring out what makes you you and really sticking true to that and rinse and repeat and rinse and repeat. And the relationships that you can create and the trust that you can establish with other people, if you get them to A, like you, and B, trust you, you're locked in. And then it's keeping them here and then getting their repeat referral business from there, right? Like when I get a call from someone that I don't know, I say to my assistant, like, oh, like I'm just like, I have to go prove myself again and again and again. It's the same questions rather than you get a referral. It's like layup, let's go. There's that totally different interaction.
Absolutely.
So that to me is so much more important, the referral business. And a lot of agents, they go fishing every day. Instead of going fishing every day, why wouldn't you just keep the fish, cook the fish, eat the fish, and like keep it calm, keep the energy calm, and go off of layering off of what you've already established, you know?
How much of who you are today as a successful Los Angeles real estate agent came through those door knocking, those 9-hour sessions? I mean, and I'm not necessarily talking that in terms of leads and in terms of sales, but I'm talking in terms of skill. I'm talking in terms of perseverance, in terms of rejection therapy, because that's really what you went through. So I guess my real question is, could the Meredith of today have existed without that?
No way. No way. I mean, no way. You know, I made $54,000 my first year. I mean, and I worked thousands of, it's like I worked every Sunday. I was on Sally Forster Jones's team. I was her #1 agent for 9 years. I worked every single Saturday and Sunday. I had my son when I was 31, so that was 10 years ago. So I was only licensed for 3 years before I had him. Remember, and I worked every Sunday, but he was little, so he didn't know at that point, right? So, and my daughter's 8, so I've been able to really leverage this success ladder and be present with them more now, thank God. But I never would have been where I am without getting that amount of rejection. How could I have been? So then the open houses became easier. I have 50 people at the open house, and there's one person that likes me. Great. That's it. Or connects with me, right? And I just found the people that valued who I was, So.
Yeah. And I think that's so important, right? Like that, your ability to focus in on the wins actually only comes because you developed this understanding that the no's and the losses really don't matter.
Yes. No.
Right. And the world doesn't crumble when people tell you no. And can you remember the first time you actually went to a door and knocked on a door? How'd you feel?
I felt terrible.
I mean, you don't even want to go there in your head, right?
I felt terrible. Yeah. I mean, it was brutal.
I totally get it.
But I was a competitive tennis player my whole life.
Got it.
So tennis, if you play tennis, it's a one-on-one sport.
Yeah.
Right? You are your own biggest enemy, your own biggest fan, your own biggest advocate. There's no team to blame when you lose. Just you. So in my eyes, that was where I was able to shine. Competition is who I am. I'm competitive.
Yes.
Very. So
I love it.
It's rejection becomes, how many no's until you get a yes, right?
So your coaching would be go out and get your teeth kicked in a number of times, right? Like go out and get a lot of rejection as quickly as you can.
Yes.
Because I'm also convinced that you probably had more real estate conversations in probably your first or second week in the business by knocking on those doors than people sometimes have 5 and 6 and 7 years into it, who are just sitting around waiting for opportunities to come to them.
Yes.
You did a master class in human interaction.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And so I'm so happy to learn this about you. And so fast forward today to today. Here's another great question for you. Now, I would never suggest that you go out and door knock today, especially in heels again today.
But at least it wouldn't be raining.
At least it wouldn't be raining. However,
no snow.
However, if you were to do that today, like, can you just imagine like your interaction with these people? Like what's that next level, right? Like what's that look like today? Because you always ask, and you used athletes, right? When they kind of, if they knew what they know today back then, and then I heard one athlete, and I can't remember who said this, I just put myself back into that moment with my new skill set, and I performed 1,000 times better than I could ever do that. What would that look like for you in today's world?
Today's world, it's just confidence. And it's, I wrote you in the email, you like me or you don't. And I have learned my personality is not for everybody, whether it's dating, whether it's friendships, whether it's work, it's not. And that's
Yeah.
fine. And at this age and where I am, and I'm teaching my kids, right? It's like my daughter's having kind of a hard time. I was like, she likes to jump rope at recess. I'm just giving you this quick example. And she's like, no one wants to jump. I'm like, it's all good. Jump rope. You got this.
Yeah.
You'll find your jump rope people.
Yeah.
It's like you will find the jump rope friends, right?
Yes.
I will find the authentic, real clients where time is money in this business.
Yeah.
If I tell people what they want to hear, I'm actually just hurting myself. And I learned this too many times in the beginning where, wait, why did I just do that? This is a total waste of my time. And I've turned down more business and I'm having my best year ever, my entire career. And I've turned down more business year than I've ever had before. That's the freaking 180 of all of this.
Always saying yes, but now historically, and now saying only yes to the things that matter for you.
Yes. Yes. Is it worth my time? Is this going to take energy out of me? Is this going to take time away from my kids? Does this person think they're the president of the United States? Like, where are the boundaries? And I set boundaries. It's like, hey, can you talk at 8 o'clock? Nope, sorry, I don't talk at 8 o'clock at night. Are you dying? Cool, call 911. Right? It's like we're not saving lives. We're not.
Yes.
There's no reason you need to talk to me at 8 o'clock at night. Thank you. Goodbye. Like, it's not. I did all that. I had all those issues and I'm done. And I say goodbye to people that are not the right fit. And the energy that I have saved is tremendous. And that's what I wish somebody told me when I first got in this is you don't have to be for everybody. You're not going to be for everybody. And that's okay.
And so looping back into social media, one of the things that I've noticed that you're doing now, or more of, I should say, is having those kind of real conversations, right? And you're even asking your audience. I think in a recent one, you were walking, you had some great shades on, a nice hat, and it felt like you were just in the moment, and you were having like this thought process as you were walking around, and you pulled out your phone and you're like, hey, what do you want to know more of? But share with me, was this a conscious effort, or was this another Meredith moment where you just take action because you thought of it?
I'm glad you like the shades. Those shades are pretty amazing.
They are pretty cool.
Dita shades, in case anyone, my favorite.
All right, cool.
Anyways, tag them. But no, it was just, I was going to this open house to show a client, and I was thinking to myself, I was like, I work with my team mostly handles the buyers, and I work mostly with sellers. And I was thinking to myself, I'm like, do you, as a buyer, do you like to be around a lot of people? Or do you want to do those one-on-one showings, right? Because we have a ton of listings coming up and a lot of open houses, and we're like figuring out the schedule and who's going to be where. And so it was just like, I don't know, I never asked that question before. What do you prefer? I don't like to be around a lot of people sometimes. I like to do my own thing. Do people want to be in a sea of people so that nobody really pays attention
in an open house set,
Like when you go to a clothing store and they're on commission, they're like 5 times, what can I help you with? What can I help you with? It's like, oh my God, please just give me a second. But they're not on commission and they like step back.
Sure.
So it's interesting. So it was interesting, the feedback I got from that, just from one quick question.
You know what what she just said brings to mind for me is 1,000 watt. Because one of the things that 1,000 watt does is what you're doing instinctively is research.
Yeah.
Is actually market research and reaching out to the consumer to figure out what is it that they want.
Yeah.
Right. And to leverage that. And so that is that whole initiative where they're doing, what do they call that? Oh my gosh, the word is where they bring a group of people.
Focus group.
Focus groups. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
That's your own focus group, right?
Yeah.
Is your social. So what are some other, was that just kind of spur of the moment type of situation?
Yeah.
Or are you leading more towards that type of content?
I like that type of content. I like the authenticity, but it was interesting the feedback I got. And my brother was funny because he's like, oh, I hate open houses, We're like polar opposites, but he's like, I hate open houses. The agents are annoying and they like pounce me 5 times. And then, he lives in New York. And,
Mm,
I like private showings because then I get to do my own thing and really walk around and there's no time rush. So, and a lot of people said they prefer private showings.
mm,
So it's just interesting because we're about to launch like 7 or 8 listings in June. So and sellers, they want everything. They
sure.
want my kidney, right? They want my firstborn, right? They want everything. So I can't be in 8 places at once. I'm sorry.
Yes.
No,
Yes.
no one. So it was just interesting. And most people commented, say, or messaged me was like, I actually prefer private showings. So I thought that was interesting.
Well, and I love that strategy because when you work with clients, you kind of have to adapt to their needs and how they like. Do they like
Yeah.
text? Do they like phone calls? Do they like email summaries? So it's good that you do that with your social media too, because you get a lot of your referrals coming in from past clients, but a lot of those referrals are probably coming in from social media too. So making sure you meet your clients on every level that they're at is great.
Yeah.
If you were going to advise an agent just getting maybe they want to revamp their social media, they're new in the career. I know we've kind of talked about like the door knocking and really get out there, but in terms of social media, low budget, but you want to like really make a splash, what would you say to lean into in terms of the content that they're posting?
I love that you think my social media.
It's working because you're convinced us.
I always think a lot of times the agents who aren't as impressed with their social media are the ones that are actually killing it because they're just being themselves and they're like, it's nothing special, but it's clearly working and it's
I'm trying to do a lot more. Thank you. And I just want to give you props because the question you just said is the number one thing I ask at a listing appointment. Do you want calls, texts, or whatever? I think that's huge for people to communicate with their clients and understand what they want, right? It's not about us, it's about what they want. So yeah, I think, just trying to be authentic and trying to get more day in the life. I keep telling my team, I'm like, guys, do day in the life. Like, let's get the before and the afters. Let's get the, all that crap in the freaking property before it was. Like, let's show how bad it was.
Yes.
And what it is now. Like, nobody really knows what goes on behind the scenes.
Absolutely.
Like at all of our business.
That's right.
So.
And part of that is, as an industry, we've wanted to protect the client, so to speak. We want to be problem solvers. We want to try to make it look easy. The problem with that is that often translates into, oh, you're just a door opener, right? And it's hard to visualize and contextualize, if I can say that, what you actually do on a daily basis. And the more that I see you post day in the life content and the things that you go through and the questions that you're asking, that just tells the story of you and your value proposition. And I think it works well.
Show your value, show your personality, and the jump rope people will find you.
And the jump rope people and say no, it's like dating, right? I mean, you're not gonna, not everybody's for you, To force something is the worst part, I think, about this business is we force a lot. I'm reading a book by Chris Voss right now, and he talks a lot about fear.
Yeah.
Right? A lot of this business we're induced by fear, the fear of not enough, the fear of losing the client, and that's, I think, what I'm trying to walk away from is the fear and trying to dominate with confidence and knowing my value.
That's interesting that you say the word fear, given that you knocked on doors for 9 hours a day in stilettos through Beverly Glen.
It wasn't all 9 hours in stilettos. I would have no feet by now, but it was a solid few hours in the heels for sure.
I so respect the amazing women who can rock it in heels all day long.
Yeah.
My saint of a mother was one of those people who could be 12 hours a day in stilettos and just make it work.
Looks
right?
good, looks good.
Meanwhile, I bring flats for the 2-block walk to the banking structure.
I'm not like that anymore. I'm not like that. I had my assistant pick me up at my house. I'm like, can you come get me? I'm in heels,
Oh my goodness.
All right, one last important question, and this is probably the most important question that's out there right now, is everyone needs to know, What's the hair product? Because the hair product is the hair is on point.
It's actually a wig. It's a wig.
No, I've seen your salon. You shout them out every chance you can.
I just get my hair done. I can't do anything, so I get it done. Beauty Beach Lounge, Playa Vista. That's my spot.
You got to outsource the things that you can't do yourself.
We can't do it. We can't do it all. So
because you got someone to take care of it, right? Yeah. Like a New Yorker. I got a guy. I got a gal, right?
You gotta do what you gotta do. So thank you guys. Seriously, this was awesome.
Thank you, Meredith.
Thank you.
And we'll be seeing you soon. We're going to come visit you.
Yes, for sure.
Sounds good.
If you're in Playa Vista, stop by, go and see Meredith. She just does a fantastic job. And as you can see, she's a ton of fun to hang out with. If you have any referrals for that greater Playa Vista, greater LA area, look her up. She's your gal. You now have a gal.
I have a gal. And if you guys can put my Instagram handle on there, I'd love to.
Oh yeah, here, let me drop that.
Absolutely, they will absolutely.
Since we're talking about how amazing I am at social media,
Meredith.
get some connection.
And here I am.
Well, a keyword Meredith Schlosser. So make sure that you go and find that. I just had to say it one more time because I practiced so many times. Right?
And your Instagram handle is in there, so give her a follow, give her some likes, give her some love.
Absolutely. All right, everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Tune in next week. Well, actually, we're dark next week because it is Memorial Day next week. So make sure that you're enjoying your holiday weekend. And I got to give a shout out to our crew here. And, Tina here is showing up more and more in front of the camera, but I have to tell you the amount of work that she puts in behind the camera needs to be recognized. So thank you for all that you're doing. And then also to Sebastian out there, who's also part of the team. He does a fantastic job as well. And then, of course, the heart and soul of Go Live. My partner in crime is Christina Miller, who's always behind the controls. She has done an amazing job and has taken over and allowed me to do all my other jobs. So thank you, Christina, for all that you do for this team and for this company. So thank you, everybody. Be well.